Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or something like that. Something like that. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Kuv The Kang with myself, Bobby K, and my man right there, Koovs. How you doing, Koovs?
Doing well here, mate. Doing well. Doing well. It's
you,
all over, man. It's Spurs again. Yay!
Yay! We can talk about only one more week to go.
Conte ball. I can't wait.
Speaking of Conte and balls, we've got some big ballers in the house with us today. Should we bring them in?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be behaving a little bit more. So, folks, yeah, we're going to actually we're going to change things up this time. So we'll let you guys know with our panel and everything, our guests today, we are actually going to be talking about football.
Sorry about that.
Cuba, yes, we have to. Apparently, we're supposed to be a football channel as well, too. And my kids gave me shit because, well, today, this day and age, kids can apparently give their parents shit. I still don't say anything to my parents. Like, no, Dad, you can't be saying this on our show. It's a Three Spanish Boys and whatever. And then they get their mom involved and everything. It's like, come on. This isn't Maury Povich. This isn't, one of those, what do you guys got over there? One of those talk shows and everything with the mad drama.
They show Maury over here as well, yeah.
You get Maury? So, yeah, I tested 14,000 men, and I know this one is the father. No, come on now, man. We don't need to start that drama in this house. But let's welcome these two lovely boys. We are up in the north here, being in Canada myself, so this time we went south. We went all the way to get a view from the south stand. And it is a beautiful view because you will notice that these two gentlemen are just absolutely gorgeous. Please welcome Marlon to the chat and actually to the panel. And my man Has two debuts at once. We thought double the pleasure, double the fun. Welcome, fellas. How you doing?
Absolute pleasure to be on your show finally, Bobby K.
Feeling good, man.
Yeah, same. Absolute pleasure. It's about time I came on.
Fair enough. But you know what? I am Indian. We do things Indian way. So technically, if I invited you on about 6 months ago, right now, I'm still on schedule.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah.
Just saying, I'm going to use cultural bias in my favor. That's fair, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they know about Greek time with Danny Kiriakou and everything.
Make them learn about Indian time, right?
Yeah, Indian time's serious.
Bro, we go big.
Yeah.
Okay, because we don't forget, we got to add the dance numbers in between. Then we got the costume changes and the scenery changes. You got to pop out from a tree one time. All of a sudden, you're getting shot out by a gun that has 18,000 bullets in it. Never has to be reloaded. This stuff kills the Matrix. For those of you that don't know, get over to Bollywood. It is the greatest entertainment you could ever find. So what do you think, Koo? So we say just do the highs to the chats first and then quickly just...
I think so.
Stuff? Yeah. We got this guy in here already telling everybody that they're late, of course, educating people again about Indian time. So I said 5:45. We started at like 5:50 something. So I'm like, we're still a half hour early, right?
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, we're fine. Paro's in here already celebrating. Big up the Argentina win here. The big up to you, my man. Good to see you here. Football Power Hours here. Great to see you. Thanks, man. Devon Buddha's here. Hey, big up. Good to see you. Phil P's already in the house as well. Carl Simpson, of course, is here. My man Jacob, another Southern boy, right? Down south, the Americano there. Elias is in here representing Eric Dyer. Yeah. Koof. Okay, leave it there, Koof. Leave it there. Good to see you.
Report to YouTube for this sort of thing. I feel like I'm being harassed.
You do, but you know what? At least you don't have to live with this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you forget what his intro videos were. I had to hang up a picture of Eric Dyer in my office, my so-called man cave. His favorite player.
Disown him.
Well, Patty, you all know Patty Hartnett. And Patty goes and gets him an autographed, nice plaque card thing of Eric Dyer. So I got it framed nicely for him. So here you go, son. You know how nice of Patty to send this for you. Oh, Dad, I'm going to put this right here. Don't you have a bedroom? Yeah, sure. Just put your stuff in my room. It's crazy.
You can put it in the trash can.
There you go. Big up, Benny Kaufman. The cough is in the house. We smell what the cough is brewing. And right, yeah, after the World Cup, it's done. 25 days. That's about right. That's right. You want refund? No English. Discount, refund. Sorry, these words are not used in my shop. And yes, I have a corner store. All hugs going around. Carl's here, and I think that we should just get into it. So, boys, let's start off with this, shall we? Let's start with you, Marlon.
Who's our Argentia?
Oh, shit, man. This is what happens when you do stuff quickly, right? So we'll hide that. And,
Question is, what were you doing quickly while you were typing?
You know what? The computer gets turned on. A certain link comes up. It's not my fault that that's the first one. And you got to stop and actually view it for a second or two while you pretend to shut it down. And shit happens, man.
Even more baffling is why do this always ask you if you want to make this your home page?
I know. You figure they should know by now. I'm on here all the time. Like you send me warnings about, sir, you cannot continue to watch all this content for free. And then you're asking me why, if I want to make it my homepage. Of course I do. You should have done this already. So, Marlon, Argentia or Argentina, whichever ones you want to talk about, whatever team you prefer, World Cup champions. Your thoughts first off on the World Cup itself, and how do you feel about these guys being crowned the top dogs?
Well, for one, what a brilliant World Cup. I know a lot of people complain about the time of year, but it started off with a bang. We actually got a tournament where players were going into it and they're already match fit. You could tell that by the games that happened. You could, like, I know if it was crammed and everything like that, but the World Cup's been, and I know a lot of people won't admit it, but the World Cup's been phenomenal. It was great. Everything was good about it. And I wouldn't bemoan. I know a lot of other people will, but I won't bemoan another Winter World Cup. If it's going to start off with a bang, at least it's not slow starts. But as for Argentina, I got them in the We Are Tottenham TV sweepstake. At first, I was like relying on Japan, but you know what? I got there in the end. Just they like to keep, after the Holland game and as well where they let a 2-goal lead slip. I said to everyone, they're going to do it again. But when it comes to penalties, I can always rely on Lloris. Ain't going to save one. So, we've been there. How many years was it till Lloris saved the penalty at Spurs? And then he saved the Champions League and the Aubameyang, and then he goes back to normal again. He doesn't save many. So I'm not surprised. But yeah, no, it was a good World Cup. I'm happy for Messi. Well happy for Messi because he can shove it up Piers Morgan's arse now and go, what's Ronaldo got now?
Okay.
But yeah, it was a good World Cup. It was like, I know a lot of people had their issues with it, but it is what it is. It was there. It was football did the talking in the end, and it was a great World Cup. And today's final, if you missed it, there ain't gonna be another final like that for years, years. But yeah, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I know everything surrounding it weren't great, but it was a good World Cup, and I'll take my hands up and said the hosts did well, considering all the corruption behind it. But they held a great World Cup.
Why don't you address this as part of what you're saying as well here from Has? Big up Has as well, and Bob's in the house as well. Big up Bob for he spent us a little few things that we can enjoy later on. What do you think? Do you think this is going to affect Lloris, and do you think he'll be down from this as well? We're concerned about Kane, obviously, but do you think Lloris will be affected?
No, Lloris will be fine. Lloris has been there, done it, bought the t-shirt. He's a big enough. He's probably his last World Cup, but I don't need to worry about Lloris. I'm worried that he's probably thinking in his head he's got to go back to bloody Dyer and Sanchez. That's what his biggest worry is. But apart from that, he'd be fine. It's Lloris. He's
that's right. Romero can perk him up, can't he?
Romero ain't going to be there for now like a month. I don't know what injury he's going to get tonight, but he won't be coming back for a while.
Probably a groin injury.
Yeah, man, him.
But apparently a lot of the squad was ill, right? There was ill effects regarding a virus or something that swept through the camp and everything like that. And a lot of people, even the commentary, was addressing that at the early stages of the game, saying France looked very poor, very sluggish.
Yeah.
Even the way they were playing compared to the way they've played previous games, they clearly looked off. Has, your thoughts, my man?
Yeah, I've got to echo most of what Marlon said, to be honest with you. I was quite critical of the timing of the World Cup when it was first announced, and was all wondering how it's going to affect the Premier League, the regular season. We still don't know, obviously, how it's going to affect it. We'll wait and see till next week. But for me, it's been one of the best World Cups ever, and I've seen quite a few. So it's given us shocks. It's given us great football. You know, records being broken. Morocco finishing fourth in a World Cup, an African nation, for me was one of the biggest highlights of the World Cup. You know, it was just, it had everything in it. And like Marlon said, all the players were literally, you know, fit from having played half a season already. So the matches weren't really sluggish or anything. As for the final, it's got to be right up there for me as one of the best I've ever seen. You know, I can remember quite a few 3-2 when France beat Brazil in the final. That was a great final. But I think this one, the fact that, you know, it went into extra time and, you know, there was chances from both sides and penalties, the drama of it, you know, will Messi lift the World Cup for the first time in his last game? It was just fantastic. And for the record, 4 weeks ago, I was asked who will win the World Cup. I said Argentina will win the World Cup and Mbappe will be the Golden Boot winner. I've copied the text that I sent to my friend. 50-1 it was, and I didn't put a bet on it.
50-1.
Absolutely gutted. But you know, for me, it's been fantastic. And
I think I can top that bet.
go on.
I can't remember if I was on a stream and said it jokingly or whether I dreamt it. But before the game, I was thinking, shit, I forgot to put some money on Mbappe getting a hat trick and not winning the World Cup.
Wow,
That would have been mental money.
Wow,
my goodness, what a payout that would have been.
I mean,
Wow.
I have to go back through Sam's streams now and see if you said it on there.
Wow. Yeah, but the problem is Kuva streams
Yes.
212 hours a week. So
somebody find it.
For 4 months, he's got about
and yet still manages to be prepared for tonight.
But
look, through it, right?
Just got to say, big shout out to obviously Mbappe. I mean, what a player! I know they were on the losing side, but with 10 minutes to go, and he literally drags the team back into it. You know, what a second goal that was, and the pressure on that first penalty as well to stick that in the back of the net, and then to go and, you know, G your players up and getting them back into it. You know, his part in it was fantastic as well.
Quick question on that, because you talk about the two penalties, and a lot of people might find this a bit controversial, but is this why Harry Kane is not in that elite? Because Mbappe will do that in a final, and Kane gets the second penalty against France, blazes it over the bar.
I think Marlon, it's different. It's a different scenario because I know he missed the second penalty, but he's up against his club teammate. He's under a bit of pressure. You know, am I going to stick it in the same spot? Am I going to blast it? Lloris is probably sort of guessing that he's going to go that way again. You know, he's up against his club teammate, so it's a bit of a different scenario. But I mean,
same pressure. Same pressure. That's what I'm saying. Same pressure, because you got to think of it like this. I know, and a lot, and this is where we've got to look at it and go. Mbappe today showed his class. I felt like it was like passing of the guard. You know, you had Messi passing it over to Mbappe today. But it's always in that situation when we kind of need Kane. Would we, if that was in a Spurs or an England situation, would we be able to rely on Kane to do that for us? And if we look at the history, probably not.
Yeah.
He's a great player. I'm not saying anything about it. But that pressurized moment when we need Kane the most, he hasn't stepped to the plate like Mbappe did. Yeah, like Mbappe did today.
And Alex, to be fair, that's what Alex THFC has been saying as well, right? So
yeah.
I know a lot of people say Alex is a little bit too harsh sometimes, and his opinions are a bit too opinionated. But when it comes down to that one, I know I saw it in the chat going on back and forth today with the
I love Harry Kane. I love him to pieces.
And it's hard to argue that point, though.
It's quite hard to argue
when he's had the opportunity to.
the thing is, you say that, but you look at the England squad, and I'm not making any excuses for Harry, but you look at the England squad, you think, who's the best penalty taker in that team? Who's the best? Who's the best guy for the job? And Kane, he rarely misses penalties. I know in the pressure situations, he's missed a few, but for me, in that team, he's the best penalty taker. And like everyone else will say, you put your mortgage on him to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
He's the captain. He made his choice.
Yeah. There's an interesting stat that I remember seeing the other day. Which players missed the most top flight penalties of all time? No,
Please don't.
It's Messi.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that because he has missed some vital ones in Champions Leagues where they've needed.
His records like he only scored sort of like 1 in 3 or something like that. 1 in 4.
Even I remember during the game when they got the first initial penalty, they brought up his chart and it was something like 28 penalties he's taken. This was the 28th or something like that he was going to take now for Argentina. And he had converted 21 of them, I believe, at the point. So
there's too many Red Bulls on the thing that they showed us. Yeah, you could. Yeah, Messi and penalties are not.
Copa America finally missed one as well.
Yeah.
So it's not really an indictment on how good a player you are if you miss a penalty.
Yeah, it's not a given. I mean,
Messi will turn up for the rest of the final. That's the only problem. But no, I love Harry Kane. I love him to pieces, and I think what he's done for Spurs is great. But in a situation when he got that second penalty against France, I said to my missus at the time, sitting next to me, I said, he's missed this. He just won't. I could see it in his eyes. The pressure has got. Well. His pressure. You could see the pressure had got to him. And yeah, he took the penalty well, but it's that precision at that precise moment, and it's not just him. I think it's just a mentality thing with us English people anyway. When it comes to things like that, when we get to penalties and in a pressure cooker situation, we just fail. Look at the Euro 2021 final as well. It's just normal procedure.
Question for you, Marlon. Euros in 2 years' time, and say England are in quarterfinals, same situation again. We're 2-0 down or 1-0 down or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Kane tucks away the first penalty, and he's got to go out for the second penalty. Does he learn, doesn't get chosen to put the second penalty in, but do we pick Harry Kane again? Do they learn from the mistakes of this tournament? Do you reckon they'll put him up to score again? Or
they will. Come on, even I as a manager, if I was managing the situation, I'd still let Harry Kane take it. But at the end of the day, I know in the back of my mind, as I'm thinking is, I'm not 100% sure he's going to put the second one away. It's just the way it is,
when he stepped up to take that penalty, my older son Jay said to me that there was a stat or something that in eight attempts that he's had to take 2 penalties in one game, he's only converted 2 out of the.
And I thought I missed
6 of 8.
Yeah, and I thought that something because I remember him missing quite a few second penalties in certain games. I know he missed the first one against Liverpool and scored the second, but I've never known him to actually score more than 2 penalties when we've had one. So it's one of them situations that hopefully Kane. I feel sorry for him because he deserves more than this. Because I was strolling through social media last week and something just literally hit me, and someone went, "If you were a footballer right now, whose career would you rather be in, Giroud's or Kane's?"
Ooh.
And for a non-Spurs fan, it's a very easy question, but for a Spurs fan, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one to answer because look, Giroud has played a big part in all the trophies that he's won, even though he hasn't scored many, he hasn't broken records, he hasn't scored many, but Kane has broken records and but he's got nothing to show for it in the team level. So which one do you go for?
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's a very difficult one.
If Giroud didn't have that horrible red Arsenal kit to tie into his career, then I would easily, have to say that I'd rather have, the accolades that he's received versus what Kane has received, which is individual awards, right? So, and Paddy makes a very good point here. Cooves, what do you think of what Paddy's saying here?
English fans won't know what they're missing until Kane retires from international football. They have no one coming through to replace him. I agree. Who is that dependable one to stick the ball in the back of the net over the course of time? Well, there's some talented forwards, but I don't see anybody can quite fill that role he does, because he's both target man and that sort of a number 10 role and the number 9 all rolled into one.
Yeah.
There's nobody like that amount at the moment, not an English player.
But is that a detriment against him though? Because he can do all them roles that actually the team rely on him to do that. Where sometimes when he's being the playmaker, there's no one up top. You know, you need someone in the box sometimes. And even for us, you kind of go, when the ball gets in the box and Kane's in midfield, you're like, we kind of need someone in there. And vice versa, when nothing's happening in that midfield because they can't create nothing, you kind of want to go, well, Kane could do it. So is it something that's, you know, against him more than for him, because of he can do more than 2 or 3 jobs. But with England, will we regret it? I think he'll be more appreciated by England fans. But with England, they always seem to replace the striker, because they're probably saying the same thing about Wayne Rooney. They'll probably say the same thing about Alan Shearer. Someone will always come and fill the boots in England. It always happens. They always get someone eventually. So it's not a case of... I think a lot of people understand Harry Kane's talent, but it's a case of until he goes and wins something, and it might have to be away from Spurs, a lot of people won't appreciate what he can do. Harry Kane's a wonderful footballer, and we know this. We've got to see him for the last how many years. But the one thing that's holding him back is the trophies, and no one can deny that.
Yeah.
But then the fact that we all say, you know, he'd have to leave us to win things, that says it all, really. It means there's nothing wrong with Harry Kane.
No.
Well, you heard the sigh. You heard the sigh as soon as you said that. It's hard to argue, right?
He's gone and signed those contracts. We haven't forced him not to. You know, he has gone to sign every contract that's being put for him. He has signed it.
But
Should he have
is
signed
it
the last one?
dealing kind of thing where we've kind of misled him to what's
Of
going
course
to
we
really
have.
happen with the club and stuff like that, right?
Daniel Levy can sell ice to an Eskimo, right? Daniel Levy is that good, right? So
here is saying that not only was the World Cup a little bit dodgy, but so was the draw over at We Are Tottenham TV. Would you like to address that, Marlon? Or is there something you guys know that we don't know?
All I'm going to say is the last time.
I don't want to get in this. I don't want to get involved. You know, I know Nick can.
Nick's just upset. He's just
talking about Nicolas.
It's not my fault I got Argentina. After the first game, right, when Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, he went, shame, see, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, I'll hold my tongue. And then when it was 0-0 against Mexico, Nick again came for me. And I went, hold on, Messi hasn't turned up yet. And he did the rest. What can I say? Nick's just jealous.
I got Argentina in a sweepstakes thing, but I think it was just one of those fun things. So I think I won... pretty much what England won. Nothing. So there was this comment. If you could just take this on Kuvs, because I don't really appreciate this. I it's funny because of who it's coming from, but I don't think he means it as a joke.
Bring it up, mate. Bring it up.
You can okay. You deal with this because I'm a little bit. I'm emotional.
I'm smiling. Come on, bring it on. Bobspur, finally, some beauty brought to an average show. It's gone from a 0 out of 10 to a 2. Magnificent. Yeah.
I don't appreciate Bob taking digs when we bring 2 new guests on. You know what I mean? Like, why would he say there's zeros like that? Or is he trying to say that, wait a minute, my English is not so good. Hold on. Shit, Kuv, he's saying where are the zeros, bro?
The man's been in a coma, apparently. He's bound to have some...
And I'm going to steal a line from the kid. Haters going to the hate.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the way it is. That's just the way it is.
I think he's just beauty shaming.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think he is fat shaming us, but PHAT. Hey, makes sense.
That must be it.
Well, he actually does have a football-related comment here. What do you think?
No, we'll ignore that.
All right. Yeah.
Go on. Trophy or no trophy, Kane is the best number 9 in the world. People who know football know that. Bigger picture, Lenik. I'd say it's debatable, but he's got to be in the conversation, hasn't he? That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I would say he's probably one of the most complete strikers in the world, as in he can do anything up top. You know, he can play that centre forward role. He can play, you know, the target man. In terms of being complete, he is the complete package where he can pass, shoot. He can do what he wants. But
Imagine there's only one thing he's been lacking, as far as I'm concerned. He's never had pace, really, has he? Imagine if he had that on a pace like a Haaland or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen him turn it on a couple of games here and there, but you know, he's gassing for the rest of the game after that. But
he kind of gets himself half in front and then uses his strength to shrug off people. Really.
Yeah.
So made the most of what he's got. Yeah, he's a great player, though. Obviously, I mean,
he's clever,
no doubt about it. When you constantly link to Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, of course you're one of the best around. Who wouldn't? Which team in the world would he not get into?
City.
Even with City, they wanted him.
I can't think of even Barcelona's got Lewandowski over there, and I still think Kane would get in ahead of him because he would bring more to that team.
Probably the only one I'd say, but they'd probably work it around him, is Real Madrid, because Benzema, the last season was phenomenal.
Yeah,
absolutely phenomenal, and he's been good this season as well. So probably a shout, maybe them, but they're probably working that they both can play anyway. But yeah, you're right. There's not a team that Kane won't get into, but he does change dynamics.
But even if you do pick, even if you do pick somebody, say he wouldn't get into that team. The point is with Kane is if you drop Haaland and you had to play Kane instead, you're not going to get Man City fans going, "Oh, we're screwed now. We've got no chance."
Yeah. Well, to be fair, with Alvarez now, the Argentinian, they don't care who's playing up front.
But he could join those two, and he wouldn't be out of place. They could rotate any of those.
Well, put it this way, Kuv. When Haaland went to Manchester City, everyone would say, well, if Kane was there, he would score just as many goals, if not more. So that answers your question.
Be argued, yeah. Sorry, Kuv, I never got to you regarding the World Cup thing and everything like that, but that's only because I know a little bit of Kuva's opinion regarding it, and I think this has a little.
That's right. I mean, there's things to talk about the World Cup in general, but
yeah, I know. But I also know with Kuva, it's also a case of. And Kuvs, I know you had some strong opinions on why you boycotted this World Cup, and it was more.
Yeah, I've already done those, though. I mean, there are lots of people with the same opinions. Human rights issues, the migrant workers being abused, basically held as slave labor, rights of women, and it just the list goes on and on. The reasons why I don't think Qatar should have had the World Cup in the first place, but. At the end of the day, it is football. People wanted to see it, and apparently it's been a really good one. So I think at the end of the day, the record books are going to show the football side of it, and it will be a case of Messi's done it, and that is a big thing. Even though I didn't watch it, I was happy about that because it does end that argument. Who is the greatest around at the moment? It is Messi. This is like the vindication of everything. It's he has now been there, done it.
Answers the old question, basically.
Yeah, for me. I mean, for me, he was always ahead of Ronaldo anyway, because I've said there's several streams. I find Ronaldo is like one of the most complete strikers ever. He's got everything, almost a perfect striker. But Messi, you can slot him into an awful lot of roles, and he's still contributing genius to the team. Even from a midfield role. There's something about him. There's like a sparkle of magic that Ronaldo doesn't have. Ronaldo's just like the pinnacle of excellence. So, for almost everything he does. But
Yeah.
Messi does things that Ronaldo wouldn't think of. Nobody would.
No, we're going to get into that and
IQ
talk a little bit more
is-
about Messi, but we just wanted to, first off, I had to just say,
Shut up! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up now! It's game time.
sorry, Coops, I wasn't going to say nothing there. I'm sorry. You heard the big fella. It is game time. Fellas, you are up for a round.
Unusual where you interrupt yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes I got to shut myself up too, buddy. I'm learning. As I age, I'm growing as a person and learning to tell myself to shut the fuck up before somebody else has to.
Growing as a person.
I'm hoping
Yes,
my friends
yes.
appreciate that.
The sort of person that has to shut the stream down the other week. Yeah. We'll move on then.
Gentlemen, it is time for a quick round of quick fire. It's a very simple game. I give you two options. You give me your answer. And depending on your answer, the speed of your answer, you get points. The points don't really matter, but we're going to pretend they do for self-gratification and bragging rights at the end of this. But in reality, in the private chat, if you guys make enough positive comments and send me bribes, that will be the winner. So, gentlemen, are you ready for quick fire?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Gentlemen, I will let you decide who's going first, Marlon or Has.
Pass.
Has is going first. Has, you
Put the
get
pressure on me, yeah? Okay.
You get the quick fire and you get the rumors. So this is basically picking who you would rather have out of the players that so far Spurs are currently rumored to be linked with or have made contact or whatever, or is just shit out there in the media, social media, or us as Spurs fans just talking about it. So, Amrabat or McKinney?
Amrabat.
Gvardiol or Bastoni?
Gvardiol.
Malinowski or Marcus Edwards?
Malinowski.
Zaniola or Barella?
Barella.
Skriniar or DeVry? Or DeVry?
Probably
DeVry?
Skriniar.
De Vrij.
Yeah. McAllister or Mason Mount?
100% McAllister.
Oblak or Pickford?
Oblak.
Depay or Anthony Gordon?
Anthony Gordon.
Dumfries or Poro?
Say that again, please.
Dumfries or Poro?
Poro.
Ndika or Maguire?
Maguire.
Wow. Marlon,
Yep.
why are you laughing at your partner, bro?
It was Nick's comment.
Like right at him, like you're looking at him. What the heck? What's that about, my man?
It was Nick's comment. It made me laugh.
Where is it?
It's meant to be quick fire. And he's stuttering.
Don't worry about Nick and not getting things right and
Just angry about
making mistakes
sweepstakes,
on
isn't
this
it?
show. Trust me, Nick, you're the last one should be calling people out on this show. Okay, sir? Okay, Marlon, for you, it's very simple. Who would you rather? Again, this is players we have now versus players that we are rumored to be linked with. So, Dyer or Maguire?
Maguire all day long.
Kulusevski or Malinowski?
Kulusevski.
Romero or Gvardiol?
Ooh,
You think it's gonna
Gardewell,
be all easy,
yeah.
right?
Gardewell, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bentancur or McKinney?
Benton all day long.
Perisic or Dumfries?
Dumfries.
This is a curveball one just because I couldn't find anybody else that could even have been in this one. Kane or Holland?
Okay, all day long.
Højbjerg or Amrabat?
Because I'm keeping Benton I've got to keep Højbjerg.
Lloris or Pickford?
Oh, Lloris all day long.
Richarlison or Depay?
Richarlison.
Son or Mbappe?
Mbappe. I don't even want to admit that, but it's Mbappe.
Well, the funny thing is, out of that 10, You picked Spurs players that we currently have.
Yep.
So, is that safe to say that it might not be as easy to upgrade the squad in all the positions we'd like upgraded without
I've-
spending a significant amount of money? While you guys debate that, I will do your points total here.
I think personally,
or is it just go on?
I think personally, upgrade the 2 centre backs. Most of our problems go away. The Royale situation doesn't become a major issue. We'll still think he's crap, but he won't be the major issue because we're able to keep 2 clean sheets. Because a lot of people were saying that how good Lloris was in this World Cup. Well, he doesn't have Dyer and Sanchez in front of him. He had Varane and them guys, Konate and all them, and Kunde. That's why he was decent. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not.
Ben Kaufman actually made that exact comment. Like, what a difference it has, what it makes when you have the proper quality in front of you, right?
Yeah, big time. And I know I've seen the rumours about Maguire this week, and I said about a year ago, and I got pelters for this, that Maguire was better than Dyer. And I said, you got to stop judging it on his form at Man United, because for England, he never put a foot wrong. And if you look at when he was next to Johnny Evans, he was an £80 million defender. Now, Dyer, you could put next to anybody, and he's not going to turn into an £80 million defender. I think Maguire, for him, Man United was just a step too far. It's a club that was way too big for him. And yes, he makes mistakes, and he made mistakes in this World Cup. But the mistakes he makes are so different to the ones Eric Dyer makes. Because Eric Dyer is not a natural defender. He doesn't think like a natural. I think for the position that he wants to be, he switches off too many times, and I mean way too many times, which costs us. Where Maguire, yes, he switches off, but for Man United, it's going to cost him. But I think if he came to Spurs and played in a back three, I think Conte would get the best out of him and would probably get the same Maguire that plays for England.
Fair enough. I just want to let you know, Marlon, we were thinking about having you guys on off the pitch, but after Big K sees this, I guarantee Has will probably still be invited, depending on how he adds to this whole Dyer conversation. But Marlon, hey, I appreciate you making your debut. You got on here once, right?
No. Little K, Little K like this. Big K, I'm not a Dyer fan. So I'm with you, Little K.
Hey, well played, actually. Well played, because the little one's got more pull than the big one. Yeah, he's got the Jedi mind tricks, right? He's a little bit more evil. He's like his. Has, what do you think, guys? Now, I know you touched on this already. I know we heard Kuva's opinion regarding this. Has, why don't you take off on this one, my man? What do you think? Is this safe to say?
I think after today's final, the debate has got to be put to bed now. Google what Messi's won throughout his career and look at his trophy haul. He's won literally everything there is to win. Completed almost every milestone. And I think you've got to settle the debate now as to who is the GOAT. Because for me, today's World Cup, it just, for me, it settles the debate. For me, Messi is the GOAT. Ronaldo had his chance. And unfortunately, he's not going to get another chance.
I'm not even bringing this up in regards to Ronaldo, to be honest with you, Has. Is it safe to say, because I'm hearing chat from football fans that they're saying GOAT as in GOAT, like beyond Maradona, beyond
all time, yeah. I think if you look at,
I think it's arguable. Again, Marlon's shaking his head hard no over there, but I wonder how those players would do today in the modern game.
Again, if you look at records side by side, I mean, Diego Maradona, let's say, for example, absolutely amazing player. One of those players that, the generational. You look at the Beckenbauers and, all these other top quality footballers from the past. Put their record next to Messi, and some of them are still insignificant compared to what he's achieved and what he's won. So for me, even if he's not the GOAT, he's up there in the top three. It's a bit hard to say because obviously Pele won 2 World Cups in a row. He's achieved a lot. So for me, you've got to hold Pele up there as sort of the pinnacle of everything. You know, the actual GOAT, the GOAT, you know. But yeah, certainly he's in that sort of category with the Pelés and the Maradonas and everything else, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's there in the conversation, isn't he? Definitely. The likes of him, Maradona, Pele, always will be. For me, though, what separates Pele from the others is you look at what is the other fellow pros say about him at the time, the other World Cup stars, the Beckenbauer, Bobby Moores and stuff. The praise that they heap on Pele is way above what you hear about Messi now. People know Messi's a great player and one of the greatest ever. And people do say that, but some of the quotes about Pele are unbelievable. I've just got a little few I was going to say. Just Franz Beckenbauer just saying, "There's Pele the man, and then there's Pele the player, and to play like Pele is to play like God." It's that's Franz Beckenbauer, one of the greatest of all time himself. Puskás, legendary Puskás, Real Madrid and Hungary legend. He's saying when he saw Pele play, it made him. Oh no, sorry, it's a different quote. He said that the greatest player in history was Di Stefano. I refused to classify Pele as a player. He was above that. It's just insane. Eusebio. In some countries, they wanted to touch him. In some countries, they wanted to kiss him. In others, they even kissed the ground he walked on. I thought it was beautiful, just beautiful. It's just on and on. Bobby Moore saying, "I arrived hoping to stop a great man, but I went away convinced I had been undone by someone who was not born on the same planet as the rest of us." It's just unreal. These are some of the best players of all time, talking about him and elevating him above everybody else. He's out clear on his own. Messi's one of the greatest of all time, but Pele's almost mythical.
Yeah.
And you guys are all shaking your head in awe of what Kuva just said. Just there's nothing really to add to that, is there? Because I'm sitting here thinking, listening to him, and I'm like, okay, I'm sold. I got no argument for you, Kuva. You shut it all down in just your statements there, and he's right. You know, when you're having praise heaped on you by the players that are considered to be the best around, then what else is
at the same time's the key bit, really, because it's always it's a bit confusing when you look at players from different eras. Rule changes, defenders were tougher back in the day. You could get away with hacking people down all the time. Rule changes to make it easier for forwards to score nowadays compared to what it was then. So you can't really look at the records and do a direct comparison. So for me, it's the only fair way as you look at what the players around at the same time were saying and go on their testimony of each player. And you will get that with every player. With Messi, you'll get it. With Ronaldo, you get it. With Ronaldo number 9, same sort of thing. Ronaldinho at some point. Maradona, Pele. It's just Cruyff. They're just legendary players because those players around them valued them that highly. There was like no way you could say no, that opinion's got to be wrong, because you're talking about best in the world saying it about one of their fellow professionals. It's far more weight to that, I think, than just looking at a few stats on a page.
And you've got to say as well,
sorry, Has, go ahead.
Sorry. You've got to say, like, Messi, obviously, he's completed his own legacy. You know, his legacy is now complete.
Yeah.
I'm sure in the back of his mind, he was thinking that was the only thing that was missing from, what's been undoubtedly one of the best careers we've seen in a footballer. So, yeah, I'm sure he probably wasn't thinking, I want to be the greatest ever, But in terms of his own legacy, I think it was nice to see him do it. But I can safely say, and then what I've just heard from you as well, Kuva, Pele for me, obviously I wasn't around when he was playing, but having watched his
what's he saying?
Watched Brazil from those times and everything else, he's just, the guy's one of a kind. And it's fantastic that he's still with us as well, obviously.
And just to add to something about Messi as well. When we look at Messi and Ronaldo, I know everyone, whenever you bring up one player, you always bring up the other. But let's be honest, how lucky have we all been to witness both these two players in our lifetime at the same time as well? And I know it's always, you got to pick one or the other, but actually, you know what? After today and Messi winning it, I was just like, I know everyone's talking about Ronaldo, but we have witnessed two absolute legends in football, and that's what they're going to go down as. And the fact we got to witness both of them at the same time, we're lucky. We've lived through a generation where we got to see them compete against it. The Real Madrid Barcelona games back in the day, how many of us used to sit there and watch them because of those two, and the games were epic? You know, we are lucky that we got to see them. Yeah, they're both coming to the tail ends of their career, but one thing I'll always say, when they're both retired, it's not about Messi and Ronaldo. It's just we were lucky to see both,
to see them and enjoy them and appreciate
them. Yeah, and we did appreciate all of them. Ronaldo, you know, is the key of someone. If you work hard at football, this is what happens. If you've got talent and then you work hard, Messi is the next option. You've got two different types of players, and we witness both. You know, and we have to thank, you know, someone like Alex Ferguson for getting the best out of Ronaldo, taking him to that next level.
Would they have gone as far if they weren't both around at the same time in that fierce rivalry, being both in Spain at the same time for the fiercest rivals in Spain, both looking to be the best in the world? It's amazing. You get that some other sports, they'll make movies about it. You know, racing car drivers and things like that. Just people boxing as well. You can't just be there by yourself when everything else is mediocre. You need a great rival to really bring the best out. I think that's what we saw with these two, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just look at those goal totals going up to ridiculous levels.
And just going on Bobby's comment that he's just made about different things, the one example that always comes up is Sir Alex Ferguson and Jose Mourinho. Is Jose Mourinho a better manager than Sir Alex? Because Sir Alex stayed at home. You know, he stayed in his comfort zone, stayed in England, won everything. Does that make Jose Mourinho a better manager than him? Jose Mourinho would disagree. Jose Mourinho would always put Sir Alex Ferguson ahead of him. Sir Alex Ferguson is one of the greatest managers out there, and he stayed at home. So why can't Messi be the same?
And that's the point that gets argued, that Ronaldo moved around, did this, and excelled everywhere he went. So.
But the problem is with Ronaldo, he didn't go to teams that wasn't like, he went to Manchester United, who were the best team in England. He went to Real Madrid, who were, you know, them and Barcelona were on par. They were just missing a Ronaldo. He then went to Juventus, Juventus, best team in Italy. He didn't go to teams that were struggling. He went to teams that are already the best. So it was easier for him to adjust. If he had gone to Tottenham, would he have been able to have the same impact? Is the question.
Also, the other thing you've got to bear in mind is that Messi carried that Barcelona team for years. He single-handedly took that team. Yeah,
when Xavi and Iniesta both kind of retired, he did.
When they retired, he was literally running the show, literally carrying that team. And that's no mean feat, you know, a club like Barcelona. I mean, he's you could say he's gone to France and he's won a league there as well. So he's only got to go to one more league.
Fair enough. What about this? Coovs, you want to take over on this one for a second here? Start leading the line.
Who was there? Yeah, go on then. Let's have it then. Apart from the obvious ones, because we had Hugo and Romero today. Any other sort of Spurs players that have caught the eye for you in the tournament?
Bentancur.
Yeah, I was going to agree with that. Bentancur was probably the best Spurs player in the tournament.
He was the best Uruguay player as well.
Yeah, they struggled when he got injured on that pitch. He took his Tottenham form that we saw, you know, against Bournemouth and the Leeds United games. He took that into the World Cup, and he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
He was fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic.
Great to watch. Where Romero, on the other hand, started off slowly because he wanted to fake injury for a while. But Son had a poor tournament. Kane was good, but I felt there was more to come from him. I felt like he wasn't at his best, but he still had a good tournament. I'm trying to think who else there was now, but yeah, everyone else was pretty.
Perisic was good.
Surely-
Perisic finished third.
Hoiberg
And he
well.
shot-
Surely Højbjerg, the Viking, with all his how brilliant he is for Denmark, they must have done well, yeah.
I think Perisic is the
Hi, Ellie.
highest
Oh
scoring
yeah, Perisic. Yeah, Perisic. Actually, that's a good shout. Perisic was probably
Perisic
the
is
player.
very good. Yep.
Yeah, was the best first player at the tournament.
Yep.
If we're gonna go on it, because Lloris didn't have much to do. He made the saves, but again, yeah, Perisic was probably the best player in the World Cup from Spurs.
And let's not forget Richarlison in that number 9 role as well. He had a decent tournament and he scored two of the best goals of the tournament. The first one, that the volley was absolutely amazing, and then the second one that he scored when he sort of juggled the ball, passed it, give and go, that was fantastic as well. I mean, if he can bring that sort of form back to Tottenham, playing together with Kane, who knows?
He's got to play up top though. I think that's what we all saw.
I think he should play up top and Kane just behind. I think they could accommodate each other, but I don't think that will happen.
A bit off subject slightly, but the tattoos with Richarlison he has on his back, and he's got like Neymar himself. It's
And R9, yeah.
Do you think he should get a little tattoo at the base of his spine now? Maybe Romero holding the World Cup. Well,
What are you trying to do?
I'm sure Romero would even gladly pay for it.
Oh, Romero, yeah.
And apparently, Elias was saying that he didn't find Bob's comment. Didn't appreciate it because in case Messi finds out, but Bob's not worried. He said he won't ever know about it. But Ben pointed out that yes,
he might though, because I mean, if he has a word with his bestie Richarlison, and gets to Romero, is so these things happen.
Gonna find out, yeah. So Bob, be careful. And while Ben is actually doing some advertising here for In the Wall, get on over to the coffee company and make sure you get over to Ben's coffee shop and in Woodford. I can't remember the address. I just know it's Woodford something number 8 something the green something, and check out his Christmas coffee. Make sure you go get yourself some of Ben's beautiful, lovely, delicious Christmas coffee. Was there any players in the World Cup to you boys that you thought just shouldn't have even bothered getting on a plane and going and representing their countries because it was just an absolute waste, or the performances were just absolutely shit?
Controversial. Son shouldn't have gone. He was injured. I know he's got a date for his nation, but he was very poor. And to be fair to South Korea, they were a lot better when he wasn't involved in the play. They were really good, but he just wasn't the son. And I'm worried that's probably the one player I'm worried about coming back, because he took his Spurs form to that World Cup, but I'm not sure if the injury played a massive part. The rest, I'm glad Dyer went because it meant that he weren't at training. So it's all good. But
probably Davies as well.
Well worked, great.
Carl's got a good one here.
James Edge.
Yeah.
Not even a minute. Not even 1 minute in the entire World Cup. One of the better attacking midfielders who
it was the USA game where you went, James Maddison, why is he not on the pitch? Mason Mount was doing, as I say, nothing. Causing a lot of issues because he just runs around. He doesn't create much. And England look a lot better when Mason Mount's not on the pitch. But why Maddison never got a minute against USA was unbelievable. But I think Southgate only took him to shut everybody up. He does this. He only put Jack Grealish in the Euro squad to shut everybody up.
For me,
Jack Grealish coming on with 2 minutes against France. What is the point?
What is the point? Yeah. But for me, if you're looking at someone who is the closest to sort of Griezmann, in the Griezmann mould, who can play that role which Griezmann played for France, it will be Maddison. In the last game, why didn't we put him on? We needed that creativity in the middle. He took off. I mean, he had 3 in the middle. He could have arguably taken off either one of one of the two central defensive players, and put Maddison on there, left Jude and Rice there, and put Maddison on, to add a bit of creativity, and it just didn't happen. If you look at the France formation, they play Chouameni in the middle, Griezmann, who sort of advances from that position, and then I forgot who else they have in the middle, but they play sort of three in the middle with three up top. Why couldn't we put Maddison there? It's just.
I remember there being talk of him being injured before the tournament. So do you think maybe it's a case of they took him as a bit of a gamble and he just didn't recover like they thought he would?
Yeah, but surely in the stage where you needed someone the most, why couldn't we take that gamble? If you're saying we took him as a gamble, then surely they should have gambled and put him on. If he's flying out there, it means that
the gamble was that they thought he was going to recover his fitness and he didn't.
So you're saying that he was actually injured and that's the reason why they didn't put him on?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm guessing, mate.
Yeah.
Because he got injured against West Ham before they went, didn't they? Yeah, he was injured in that game and he wasn't fit enough to play the first one. Possibly, but again, by the time he got to Senegal and France, he must have been fit enough. I bet when he lets the kick off next week, he'll be in the starting 11. So we'll see.
Teams have certainly done it before, gambled on a player that wasn't fully fit, and then they broke down in training, and it's left them short on their 22 going out to a tournament. But it's just the thought. It's like I said, it's happened before, so maybe, who knows?
I just think Southgate don't like him. There's something obviously that's happened in the under 21s with him and Grealish when Southgate was manager, and he just doesn't want to pick them. Because I look at it today, Deschamps, right? They're losing 2-0. They're absolutely getting smashed off the park. At 40 minutes, he makes 2 subs in a World Cup final. And took Giroud off of all people. Everyone was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yep.
And you looked at it and you went, what's he doing? But it changed the game. It brought it right back in their favour. I know Di Maria going off also played a part, but Southgate wouldn't do something like that. Southgate would stay safe. And that's sometimes what you need is to have something. You need the balls to do something stupid as that to get the result you need.
It's too pragmatic most of the time.
Yeah.
And that's what hinders us.
You know what? It's a bit like Conte. It is like Conte. He's exactly the same. He will only bring on the players that he knows and wants. Yeah, it works for Conte most of the time. But sometimes you do just need to rip up the rule book and do something stupid, spontaneous that might change the game.
You said that, Marlon, because I was just about to make the same comment. Sounds like another manager I know.
I thought I better mention it, but no, it's true though. But it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one.
If you look at the players that he has at his disposal at England, you'd almost think. We've got to sort of move away from this pragmatic approach and let the players play, express themselves with a bit of freedom. There's a lot of attacking flair in that team. And if you look at Argentina today, they absolutely come out, barnstormer in the first half. They just, ran the show. Players Di Maria was having a game of his life, and it just shows you don't have to be pragmatic all the time. If you've got the players to be able to hurt an opposition, then use the players that you have, But for me, the players that he has at his disposal, it's such a shame that, he's not allowing them to sort of express themselves and play attacking football,
It's like he's shellacking them and then sending them out and kind of giving them a restricted area to kind of work in. And you can't cap creativity. It's almost impossible. But it's funny. I'm glad you brought up the Di Maria thing because I know in the build-up to the starting of the World Cup, a lot of people were saying that they were shocked to see Acuna was benched and Di Maria was brought in. And look at the game he ended up having. So, you got to credit the Argentinian manager or the Argentina manager for actually taking that chance and having some balls, for lack of better words.
It's the thing with quite a few players, though, isn't it? I mean, if you got that kind of natural talent anyway, that's the last thing that's going to disappear. It'll be the physical attributes start fading first, won't it? You could say that's the case with Di Maria. I mean, playing as a winger, you'd expect him to have a bit of pace or anything. But with that sort of player, he's got all the trickery in the world as well, and just quality on the ball. It's very difficult to just say leave him out. It really is. I think in some ways it's kind of why we're so disappointed with Southgate. For me, he's a manager that takes management just the way he took his playing career. Defender. It's all about drills. It's all about holding formation, playing it safe, make sure we don't concede. Seems to apply to that to the national team. It's crap to watch, really, isn't it?
Instead of just going for it,
yeah. When you think you've got Foden, you've got Grealish, you've got Bellingham, you've got Saka.
Bellingham, fantastic though.
Yeah,
my God, what a player!
You've got them sort of players, and you shouldn't be holding. You could tell Bellingham wanted to play, but the rest were kind of like, no, he's told us not to go forward. But then Phil Foden. Oh my God, what an actual player. He's such a wonderful talent that we've got, and we've got to be more attacking with it. Him and Grealish and Saka could be a free that we could be relying on it, and you could let them express themselves. That's what he's got to do. But let's be honest, it's worked for him. He's the second best England manager after Sir Ralph Ramsey. So, and he's probably not got he hasn't got the golden generation. He's got a bunch of young players that are, very good, but he hasn't got a defense. So,
well, it shocks me that they wouldn't consider replacing him, especially with like that majority of that squad's going to be coming into its prime into the next World Cup.
But the problem is, you think about England in the past where we've had Capello, we've had Ericsson, and their top quality managers come to England and they've been absolutely awful. And they had our golden generation where Southgate's come in and done, let's be honest, football crap, that he's done a very good job with that team. Especially here in England, you can see that he's brought the nation together. A lot of people don't like the football, yes, but if he's got to a semi-final of a World Cup, he's got to a European Championship final, and then he got knocked out by the finalists, and let's be honest, England were a better team against France. Like, they were really good in that sense. It was like the result was there, but it wasn't a disappointment because you knew we got beat by quality. So you have to just take the rough with the smooth. Personally, I would have probably said I would like to have seen someone new, but at the same time, I'm not disappointed that he's not going to be here in 2 years. Well, a year and a half now.
Yeah, I think another thing I always think about is when we're talking about Southgate's record and things. He's done well. Second best manager since Sir Ralph Ramsey or whatever. And it's all relative, isn't it? Because I also think of the other side of the coin is if this group of players was given to the likes of, say, Terry Venables or Glenn Hoddle, you'd think we probably could have won something there. Don't see it with Southgate for me.
Probably Terry. I'll give you Terry, because Terry Venables was a different type of manager. Glenn Hoddle may have messed it up with, what's her name, Irene? I can't remember her name. But yeah. But no, I totally agree with you. The thing is, I know a lot of people talk about Southgate's record against the top sides, but at the end of the day, he's got to beat what's in front of him. And he's got lucky in the draws, right? He has. But at the same time, when you go back to the other England managers, Roy Hodgson got knocked out by Iceland. The group stage in Brazil was crap. Brazil, it wasn't a bad steep to get knocked out in 2002, but the Portugals of the world. So, the same problems were happening with other managers as well. Once they come up against someone decent, England fall apart. It seems, again, it reminds me a lot of the team that we kind of support, but it happens. It does happen. Southgate has got to a point where he's kind of, at least he's got to a World Cup. Everyone said it was the easiest path in the last World Cup for him to get to that semi-final, but he got there. he didn't mess it up. He actually got there. The European Championships, weren't the best Germany side. He beat Denmark and all that, but got out of the group stage. Again, he got there. A lot of younger managers.
That's where the argument is, though, because they're saying he's such a poor manager that if we had a better manager, what almost Kuva is saying is we could have potentially won something, not just got there.
But could we have got there? Because we've had, like I said, we've had better managers and we haven't done nothing. And we'll never know. We've had better managers in the past with better players, with the golden generation, and we still couldn't get there. So it's that catch-22 situation. where we
But
get
our
club
golden
manager in.
generation was also unfortunately ill-timed with other countries having their golden generations as
Yeah,
well. That's
true.
the reality. When you look back at for me personally, we don't over here in Canada, we didn't really start getting football till the early 2000s on television. The only thing we ever used to get is the World Cup and the Euros. And so obviously the 90s, seeing the World Cups, the 90, 94, 98 even, those teams and all the international teams, like even by then towards the end of the 90s, that's where France just started really getting really good. And the players that some of these teams had were just like I said, they could have been considered the golden generations for their countries. So
Yeah, of course, and that's how you got to look at it. At the end of the day, you just don't know. You just never ever know. England getting to a semi-final and a final of anything. But if you look at Croatia, they should have probably beat. I won't admit that. But Italy, I weren't expecting them to beat Italy. I know they didn't qualify for the World Cup, but Italy are a very good side. Did any of us actually expect them to beat France? No. Were they in the game against France? Yes. If Kane scores that penalty, different situation. So
is it the players that are in the game, or is it the manager that got us there?
Again, we never know.
Argument, the age-old argument.
It's the age, right? Yeah.
So I want to know from Has, because obviously Has has been talking a little bit too much, and we want to hear more the sound of his lovely voice as well here. Southgate for you, Has, yes or no?
He's done well. He's done well to sort of get us in a semi-final, a final. But for me, I just think we need a change. And then on the other hand, I think who is there out there at the moment that could sort of take over and continue the job or do even better? Because for me, the manager of a national side for me has to be English, or manager of England has to be English, in my opinion. Just like every other sort of national side, you look at Argentina, Argentinian, Portuguese. What English manager is there out there at the moment that could sort of take over from Southgate and do a good job or a better job than Southgate at the moment? And that's the way you've got to think of it.
That I can think of possibly.
Potter's at Chelsea at the moment. You got the likes of Brendan Rodgers at Leicester at the moment, but are they likely to do a better job than Southgate at the moment? And I think what it comes down to is the fact that there isn't really anyone out there at the moment on a level where they've won loads of stuff. They've got loads of experience. I know Southgate, apart from having managerial experience, hasn't really won much out there, so he hasn't really got that winning sort of mentality. But
he knows how to miss a penalty, though.
Sorry?
He knows how to miss a penalty.
Well, yeah, I mean, Kane must have been taking lessons from him.
Okay, so that's the one thing he's taught them.
Yeah, the famous Euro '96 penalty miss. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's what it comes down to, Bobby. I think it comes down to, is there anyone else out there that could take over for him? Another hungry English manager, and
yeah, because you've only got Potter really, because Rodgers obviously is Northern Irish. You've got there's really nobody else. Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe's probably the next in line.
Yeah, he's doing good at Newcastle.
I think he's probably the next. When you think about the timelines with it all, if you go with Eddie Howe should be, his time at Newcastle should be up by then. Let's be honest. If he's moved them on to the next step, so he's probably the next in line. But for me, if Pochettino, if you want attacking football, I say attacking football, but if you want someone to go in there and do, why not Pochettino? He knows the English game. Why not? It's not.
I've just solved it. Two birds with one stone with this. Ryan Mason for England manager. That's going to inspire Harry Winks into putting in a hell of a shift, so we're able to sell him for a tenner.
What about Dele Alli?
At least 20.
Well, he's still mad.
Boys, sorry. With Marlon and Has, just quickly there, guys. I need you to quickly pick a number between 1 and 3.
2.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up now! It's game time.
Somebody does not like the number 2. Clearly.
Kuv,
But,
Kuv is scared.
gentlemen, it is time to break the tension a
You
little
did
bit.
say a number between 1 and 3. That's only one choice, isn't it?
I know. I know this. Come on. The one thing we brown people know is
No,
numbers,
yeah.
okay?
Okay.
Come on, man.
All right, okay.
Why
Just,
you gotta do this on live stream?
just do what you're paid to do.
Oh, sorry. Now introducing Kuva. It is Kuva's time to play Spot the Bull, gentlemen. It is very simple. Kuva is going to give you 3 stories in 3 different categories. That will be 9 stories altogether. Out of the 3 stories, you will have to decide which story is true, which one this beautiful mad genius beside me made up, and which one came from this little deluded mind. So, gentlemen, are you ready to play Spot the Bull? It's all yours, Coobs.
Okay, so here we go. First set of 3 questions. And we go with the title, Asks Kids if he should hit dog, then does. This is back in January 1994. A school bus driver in Port Washington, Wisconsin, insisted he was only joking when he shouted out, should I hit that dog? Seconds before, he actually did hit a dog on the road. The animal belonged to 2 of the children on the bus. It often came up to the road to meet them. The driver, who later resigned, blamed the accident on icy conditions. So that's your first story. Brutal bus driver running over animals to really upset kids. Sounds a bit familiar to me. Blame it on the ice. Right, second story. Second story, Pick Up a Penguin. June 1932 saw the first production of the UK's well-known penguin chocolate biscuits. The biscuit was inspired by the January breakout of 35 penguins over a damaged wall from Edinburgh Zoo. A shivering reporter covering the story uttered the immortal phrase, pick up a penguin, over local radio as part of an appeal for the public to help round up the escapees. So that's the second story. Escape penguins is the actual reason for the slogan for penguin. Third question, third story is You Donkey. And May 19th, 1908, Fernando da Silva decided to create competition for the recently founded UPS Courier Company. Fernando contacted family in Mexico and had several donkeys sent to his firm in Texas. Unfortunately, his attempt to compete with the UPS was a complete failure, as although donkeys were very reliable to move the parcels, they were extremely slow. Fernando could not even come close to matching UPS delivery days, as UPS had already started using bicycles, which proved to be significantly faster. So that's your first set of 3. You've got the Ask Kids if he should hit the dog, and then he does. You've got the Pick Up a Penguin for the escape penguins from Edinburgh Zoo. And you've got the donkey being lesser than the bicycle for competing with the UPS.
Sorry, Coobs, go for it.
So, yeah, that's it. So you've got to work out which one is the true story, which one is made up by myself, and which one is made up by my beautiful co-host with his brilliant. Mate, felt that. I felt that. That screen's going to be wet for ages for all the wrong reasons.
Nice.
Yeah. So there we go. And we shall start off with, let's pick them in order of... I'll do it in order of how much I like each person. Because I don't have to explain what the order is then, do I? They'll have to guess.
You're right. You don't. You never have to.
Yeah. No, we won't do that one. We won't do
No,
that one.
okay, no.
They're both good. They're both good.
I really like them. Yeah,
You watch their show, you're licking both parts of the screen at once. You can't pick.
Okay, let them do it at once.
yeah.
So, guys, what do you think about this one? The bus driver that hit the children's dog while they were on the bus. Is this story true? Did I make that up, or did Kuva make that up? Has, what do you think?
I think you made it up.
You think I made this up? Okay. Marlon?
I'm going for true.
You're going for true with this one. Okay. And then pick up a penguin. What do you think with this one, Marlon? So you said true already. So did I make this up or did Kuva make this up?
Kuva made this up.
Okay. And Has?
Kuva made this up.
Kuva made
I
this
believe.
up. Okay.
Yep.
And then obviously you come down to you, Donkey. And by default, then, Has, you're saying this is the real story?
Yes.
Okay. And then obviously by default, then, Marlon, you said this is my story.
Yep.
Okay. Well, cool. So should we give them?
That's
Should we tell them the point?
pretty impressive. You can see where the talent is on that show now. Go on.
Obviously, I know, but if we give them the points and the answers, then after you just said that, it's kind of like we threw one under the butt.
Well, it's all right. We can edit it. They'll never know.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, they can. Can they hear us right now when we do this? Well, no, because we're looking at each other. So
We live. Are we live now?
Oh.
All right. Okay. Let's go for it.
Oh, yeah, guys. Yeah, okay. Oh, after that round.
You both got it completely right.
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go for it. How about in the chat? Let's see if anybody's got anything here. Stuart's in. Bobby, then Kuva, then True. Phil. Let's see who else we got. Ben saying True, Kuva, then Bobby. That's the same as, was it Marlon? I think said this up that order as well. And
Carl said, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Bobby, Kuva, True, yeah, fair. True, and Ben saying Kuva likes donkeys maybe slightly too much. Well, how can you? There's no such thing as too much.
What's wrong with donkeys? I'm sick of people disparaging donkeys, man. They're beautiful little creatures. They're so fucking cute when they're little. Have you seen those
feature nativity plays?
I want one.
Songs about them.
I don't want a mini donkey.
And I've been coining the phrase "mule-tide" this season. So,
yes.
Let's get with it.
Gentlemen, I can say Marlon has jumped out to a big lead. Marlon, you went 3 for 3 on that one. Has, you got one right. So the first story, ask kids if he should hit the dog, is in fact a true story. The pick up a penguin was made up by this lovely gentleman to my left here, and you donkey was something I decided to throw in. I figured if I made a donkey story up, most of you would think that it came from Kuva, but no, that did not throw you off the scent. So on to round 2. Has, it's 3-1. You could still catch up here, buddy. There's 6 points still available on the table. Run away with it, Coobs. She's all yours.
This is high octane stuff. This should be going viral. Okay, right. Second round of questions. First of all, we got saving a buck. Poor Frank Ottoman was found deceased alone in his one-room apartment. The only reason Frank was even found was because he did not show up for work that day. Frank had not missed a single day in 22 years, and in fact had never been late. Poor Frank wasn't so poor. He died with just over $1.4 million in his bank account. Apparently, Frank was so frugal that he wouldn't even use his stove. Frank was known to leave a can of food on his window shelf and allow the sunshine to heat his food to save money. Although this saved him a lot of money, it unfortunately contributed to his death. Frank was found to have passed away from a bacterial infection caused by consuming raw food.
Lovely.
So literally saved himself to death. Second story. Oh my God, they killed Kenny. July 1971, Ottawa, Ontario. Kenneth Hershey made an early attempt at creating impact gel. He taped 4 layers of jello, or jelly to those of us in the UK, cubes around himself, effectively making an impact-resistant suit of armor. He successfully demonstrated the first suit by jumping from his garage roof and landing on his back unharmed. After going to the patent office with a blueprint, he decided to make a far more grandeur demonstration from the roof of City Hall. Sadly, despite best efforts to revive him, Kenny died from massive internal bleeding, multiple breaks, and a ruptured spleen. So the jelly survival suit for surviving huge impacts, not so good after all.
No, small impact.
Thirdly, we go for baked beans in boots. June 1998, during a routine check, police stopped a man in Colchester, Essex, and discovered that he was wearing Wellington boots filled with baked beans in tomato sauce. The officers never found out why he was doing this, but warned him that he should wear more appropriate footwear, since boots full of baked beans could cause him to be distracted and have an accident. So we've got your 3 stories for the second round. It's the saving a buck, with a man literally saving so much money on everything he died from bacterial poisoning. Secondly, oh my God, they killed Kenny, the impact-resistant suit, not working out so well. And thirdly, the baked beans in boots. So you have again, you'll have to work out again which one is the true story, which one's made up from myself, and which one is made up from my loving, beautiful co-host. Yeah, this is getting weirder and weirder every time.
I know. Can you imagine what's gonna happen when my wife watches this shit? How much do you really like this Kuv guy?
Gonna demand,
which is
gonna
weird,
demand some sort of buffer between.
So who's going first, sir, Kuvs?
Well, it's I think it's who went first last time?
Marlon.
I think.
No, Has went first. Has went first last time.
I went first last time.
Right. Marlon first this time then. Fair's fair. And then they can fight to the death to decide who goes first in the last round.
Oh, that's coming up at the end of the show. We were actually going to make that new announcement. Yeah.
We have got an intro for that round.
Yeah, we got Oil Pit ready.
First one's Bobby K.
Has?
First one's Kuv.
Second one, oh my God, they killed Kenny with the impact gel.
True.
Yeah, I'm going to say that one is Bobby K.
And then finally, baked beans in boots.
True.
Kuv all day long.
Oh, am I supposed to tell them? What are you doing?
Well, we'll look at the chat at the meantime.
That's all you, baby. Go for it.
Right, so we've got Carl Simpson saying, no, we won't read that one out. Kuv loves loads of ass. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastard, says Ben. Carl is saying it's true, then Kuv, then Bobby. Stuart saying true, Bobby, then Kuv. And well, that's it. That's it. So everybody's going for it.
They're scared to guess. They are scared to guess.
To guess.
You want to let them know, Kuvs?
I think it's not done well overall, has it? I'll just say which ones which is which. The first story, Saving a Buck, is indeed a fake story done by Bobby.
Yes.
The second story, oh my God, they killed Kenny with the impact gel. That is also a fake story. That's my one. And the third story, the baked beans in the boots, is completely true.
There you go. So after round 2, we have Marlon still with a slim lead now at 4. And Has picked up a point there, so it's 4-2. Gentlemen, 3 points available. Has clean sweep here. Marlon getting 0 lets you win the game. So no pressure at all. Or is that putting pressure on him? How does that work again?
Yeah, it's pressure. It's kind of
It's
pressure where you might miss a
That's what we
penalty
want.
sort of pressure. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
I think he can do it.
Yes. Let's just end now. It's not getting any better.
Not the good. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Should we just cut the show?
Yeah.
All right.
Next
okay.
week, our guests will be Has and Marlon again, I think.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to. Yeah, because
Because that worked. That joke landed. I think you don't want to break up a winning team.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. Yes. Hello, Comedy Network. Of course I can come. What? You want me to bring Has with me? You're cooking? Okay. You want to let him know? The next round there, Kuvs.
Next round. Let's do it. Right. The first story is the Satanic Thomas Guide. 1997, the front cover of the 1997 Thomas Guide Road Atlas for Los Angeles and Orange counties boasted that the guide included 666 new streets, which prompted concerned Christians to start calling the publisher, fearing that the use of the number 666 was a satanic signal. Eventually, the publisher recalled the guide and issued a new one that boasted of only 665 new streets. The company explained that they made the change because it wanted buyers to feel confident with the use of our product. So that's the first story, the Satanic Guide, just because it had 666 roads. But anything. Next story, anything sold. During the late 2010s, a mail order company based in Utah started shipping a series of highly controversial products. Eventually, public outcry and a lawsuit saw the company cease trading, but not before they'd sold a large range of goods, including OJ washing up gloves in the size extra, extra, extra small, a How to Fly and Quran book set, and the Bruce's Vehicular Homicide for Transgender People guide. So that's the second story. The basically a comedy products firm that were mail order or anything, and they shut down. But can kind of see why. Right. Anyway, thirdly, we have got Jesus. It's a rock. In February 2014, brothers Michael and David Archibald, that's a good surname, set a new bidding record on eBay. They listed a rock that they claimed had the likeness to Jesus Christ. The rock had a water stain on the top that looked like a face. The so-called Jesus rock ended up selling for a whopping $218,000. Later on, the boys would go on to reveal that the rock was found in their backyard and the original posting was supposed to be a joke. So there you are. We've got the last three stories. The Satanic Thomas Guide, which had 666 streets, but because of complaints, they had to take it down to 665. Then you had Anything Sold, which was the mail order company with the outrageous products that are clearly for comedy value, but eventually got shut down. And thirdly, Jesus, It's a Rock, which was basically the fake stone with the sold on eBay as a joke, the face of Christ on it for $218,000. So again, the rules are you have to guess which one's the true story, which one is by my insanely beautiful co-host. Yeah. And which one was by myself. Oh, yeah. Back at you.
We talk after.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. Which is which? Let's start off with Has this time. So we've got the Satanic Thomas Guide. Is that true? Is it myself that made it up, or is it Bobby that made it up?
True.
Seems pretty
Marlon?
sure.
Kuva.
I think so, I'm pretty sure. A devil's guidebook out there. Okay.
Yeah, Kuva made that one up.
Whoever made that one up?
How
Okay.
dare you?
No, yeah. Oh my God. That means he's saying you're satanic, which means I'm the angel. Thanks, Marlon. Maybe after all that dire bashing, you can still get you on the show. I'll talk to you. I got
The second one. Anything Sold. Marlon. That's the mail order company that's selling the comedy products that are just
Bobby
too
K.
outrageous that it got them shut down.
Yeah, Bobby K.
Has?
And Has.
Kuva.
How dare you?
How dare I?
One's
Yeah.
calling you satanic, the other one's saying you sell crazy shit.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I'll see why. I'll see what doing it now. Thirdly, we've got Jesus, It's a Rock. And we'll go with Marlon this time.
True.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, we know what the answer has to be now by
By default,
Multiple.
yeah. So Haas is saying this is my story then, by default.
Yeah.
Indeed. We shall go to the have a look at the comments section. Carl is saying Kuva, Bobby, and True. Ben also saying Kuva, Bobby, and True. Stuart with True, Kuva, and Bobby. And let's see, did anybody get that right, Bobby?
Somebody in the chat got it right.
Yeah,
And I think somebody on the panel might have got it right.
I think so as well.
I think
so
somebody
as
in the
well.
chat and somebody in the panel got it right.
Let's do we'll start off with we'll do Bobby's fake one first, shall we? Which is Jesus, It's a Rock. So Bobby made up the face of Christ in a stone. That's pretty shocking, mate. My fake was far less shocking. I did the mail order company one, which was anything sold. So Has is doing pretty well this round. And of course, the true story, that is the Satanic Thomas Guide, which did indeed boast 666 news streets and genuinely got complaints from the Christian population saying it was satanic, which is a bit over the top. But there you go. So maximum points for Has that round.
Which means we have a grand total after 3 rounds of Marlon finishing with 4 points. And Haas making a stellar comeback from the end to take the lead and win the game with 5 points. A tight fought race. A great championship final. Almost as good as the World Cup today. Almost. This was clearly more riveting and a lot more exciting, especially for us in the background that know the answers and know what's going to happen. So, Haas, congratulations, sir. You win this week's round of Spot the Bull. Marlon, congratulations. You finished a very close second. Hey, man, a prize is a prize, bro. You know? Come back next time and we can have another round of this. So, how do the boys do in the chat?
Remember, as Sean says, you don't have to win a trophy to be successul. No, that is just purely the one Sean up his
Carl, man, what's going on here? He's falling apart. Stuart had a good game. He just got the last round perfect as well, like Haas. Perfect score first round and then all downhill, Benny. Don't worry, Benny. Next week I'll send you the answers first. Oh. Still live? Oh, the red things means we're still live, okay? No English.
I was toying with the idea of messing around the answers so you didn't have a clue what was going on.
I normally don't have a clue what's going on.
I think the advantage was knowing sort of how you think, Kuva, from wanky to wank on the weekends. I sort of tried to think who would make up such a story. The OJ one was typically you. And then the eBay one, I just sort of, that was I knew something about the satanic one, but yeah, then it's just trying to think how the mindset works.
We did fool everybody that one week when we did exactly that and then changed the stories around at the last moment. And I was writing things that I thought Bobby would say, and he wrote things that I thought I would say.
Yeah, especially with the donkey thing and everything. I said, okay, if I do a donkey story, automatically, by default, people are going to be like, that is Kuva's story for sure. 100%. I had to come up with some way to incorporate some sort of donkey story. So I even looked up that UPS was founded in 1907. So that's why I was like, okay, I got to try to make this shit like as close as possible. So this donkey story started in 1908, right, to challenge UPS and everything like that. I tried. Elias has got a question for us here, guys. And I know this was happening in one of the chat groups we're all a part of, or some of us are in, and it was brought up. And our dear friend Ben Kaufman here, who we all adore, actually had this suggestion thrown out there saying that he wouldn't mind seeing Wenger replacing Southgate. At least his style of football, or the way he used to play football, was very attacking, very aggressive. Coops?
I think that could be a good move. The question is he now too old to really fancy it, or I think the thing with Wenger is it wasn't Mickey Hazard saying it. He's the greatest manager we never had. He's one of those ones where begrudgingly we would have done really well at our club, but he went there, so we didn't like him. But if you put all that to one side and just think about the way his teams are playing, it's great football. It just gives the players belief to just go out there and perform. As he famously said, he doesn't need to tell them what to do. They know that. They're great footballers. Just go out and have the license to express themselves and attack. It's good stuff.
What do you think? Because here we are then almost arguing that Southgate would be the complete opposite, that he's telling them exactly what to do instead of allowing them to go and do their thing.
Yeah. If you got intelligent, good, technically sound players, they find the way. They got the intelligence for themselves to work out when you need to cover somebody else who's making a run forward, or when to hang back, when to hang on to the ball and take the sting out of the game, or when to just go for it, and also when you're on top to carry on putting the pressure on. That's what great players do. They don't need to be coached constantly. You just prepare them for the game. As soon as out on the pitch, you really shouldn't have to do a lot. We see it far too many managers constantly shouting. Conte's another one, constantly shouting because our players can't do it, which is different because we don't have players that are all technically great and very intelligent. It's we've got a mixed match. Some players he doesn't have to say anything to. Others he's got to hit them with a stick.
Boys, I think Arsenal sitting with he's on the FIFA committee or something.
Yeah,
I think he works.
He works for FIFA.
Like a development part of a development body or whatever it is. I don't know, but personally, I think someone like Tim Sherwood's available. I think he could be the perfect man for the job. Bit of Tim Ball,
Did he mess up? Did he mess up this week?
I'm not laughing at. I don't know if Has is joking or not.
You know what? The football was all over the place. It was sort of kind of entertaining at times, but we weren't going to win anything. But I did like his press conferences.
I like his body warmer, if I'm being honest.
A little bit. He knows how to interact with the crowd as well. Give him his gilet.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I know there's shouts. Some people are saying even Steven Gerrard. But what do you think of Wenger here, Marlon?
I don't really want to say anything positive about him, so I don't want to have too much of an opinion on it.
No, it's difficult.
It's too difficult. It's a great shout, but I think he's not. He doesn't want to do it.
Your Spurs bias and look at the England squad. Do you think he would be good for the national team?
Yeah, any attacking manager would be good.
Oh, here's a way harder question for you.
Yeah,
if Conte walks out in the summer, for example, we're hunted around for managers and we just can't seem to get anybody. Yeah. And then Arsene Wenger comes in and says, I'll do it. Would you take him?
It's so weird you say that, because I said for years, Levy and Wenger think exactly the same in the way they want to do things. Get the youth, get them in, sell them off. And I watched a documentary about Wenger, and that was the whole reason why they didn't go Real Madrid, because they wanted to buy players already made. He's not into all that. He's into developing and moving them on and getting them to, and then trying to achieve stuff with them, like he did with Henry and Vieira's and all them. But he got to a point where he was dictating everything. So it's a weird scenario. Him and Levy would be the best of pals, because he only has to get top four. He only has to bring in young players, make them do well and sell them on. It's perfect. It's a match made in heaven for both of them. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Keep going on. Just logging into Twitter. Marlon.
Hence the reason why I don't like Edic. But no, on a serious note, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. It'd be. I don't like Daniel Levy as it is. I don't mind Enoch. I don't like Daniel Levy. So hope it'd be the icing on the cake to get him out. So that's the only reason why I'll take him.
Fair enough. Now, guys, normally, to be honest with you, this is where we start asking you to give us your details about your shows and everything, and we start wrapping up this show. We are a little bit over what we normally do, and we started late as well. I know it's getting way past you guys' bedtime, so I appreciate you staying up late. We do have a little gift that I was sent over today by somebody we all love and adore in the community, and he said, while you guys are at it tonight, since he didn't get to do his show Saturday night, he wanted to make sure he had his fingers in the pie in this one, and nobody says no to our beloved Bob Spur. So Bob threw us a little a game over here, Kuva, that I didn't even discuss with Kuva yet. It is simple. Guess the YouTuber. I'm going to bring up a few photos. You just tell me who it is. So this one goes for all three of you. Kuva, turn your side screen off so you can't cheat.
I haven't got it up. I haven't got it up.
Okay. So don't turn up your overlay.
No, why would I want to cheat on this sort of thing? It's no fun if I know what it is.
Exactly. So this goes. This is for all three of you. Shout out the answer when you got it in the chat. If you want to join in, by all means, throw it in. These are people you know from the YouTube community or are on YouTube that you most likely would know. That's, you guys don't all start shouting out your guesses at once.
Is that Ben?
Oh yeah, could be.
Ben what? Ben Kaufman or Ben Daniel?
Yeah.
Kaufman.
That's the cough, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Has? Yeah, you're saying Ben Kaufman too, Has?
No, I'm going to say it's Nicholas.
Yeah, okay. As Bob would say, you're all fucking wrong.
That's always going to be my next guess.
Let's see what.
If you'd done it proper Bob style, you would have said, "Oh, look at the eyes. The clues in the eyes."
What, isn't that Ben from EastEnders?
Which one?
Little Ben Mitchell when he was smaller.
Which one?
What about this one?
Rez.
Bob Spur.
Close. Very close, Marlon. Coops. Quiet.
Oh, actually, is that Coover? That's Coover, isn't it? That's Coover.
Close. Haas, sorry, did you go already?
Yeah, I said Rez.
You said Reds, okay. And you're who are you going with? Now that'd be too easy, Elias. That'd be too easy.
That's Coover. That's Coover now. I've changed my mind. That's Coover.
Cuba? Yeah, okay. What about you, Coobs? Who do you think it is? Stuart thinks it's me.
I can't even remember what the last one was now. It's going to be me, isn't it? I know it is. It looks nothing like me.
Again, in the words of the legend himself, you're wrong.
Oh, Bob.
You said Bob.
I said Bob to begin with.
He said Bob.
Yeah,
You should
then
have
he
stuck with
changed
the
it.
original. Always follow your gut, Marlon. Come on, man. You're a young guy. You should know better than that. You should know better than that. Okay, this is an easy one. This one even I got.
Brian Daigle. Yeah, Daigle all day long.
That wasn't really that hard, was it? And it's his wankety wank face.
It's
Stuart,
always
again,
a wankety wank face.
I think he just
Yep.
finished wanking to wank off during that photo.
He's just got to the happy ending of his self-massage.
Isn't that the best part?
Not the way I do it.
Well, you need a tea in between,
Tea
apparently.
and biscuits, yeah. Half-time tea and biscuits, and then change ends.
Actually, Carl's the only one that got the answer fully correct. That's Brian while he's dreaming of leaving.
Brilliant.
I don't think that happens too much. What about this one?
I'm going to say Ben Kaufman.
I'm going to say Ben from We Are Tottenham TV.
Ooh, very close, Marlon. Very close.
Ben or Sim.
Is that a Bob Spur very close, or is that one of your very closest? Because a Bob Spur very close, you could go for Morgan Freeman.
I just gotta say that. Remember where the game came from. Remember the source.
I swear I've seen this one already, and I can't remember who it was. I'm going to go for Danny Kiriakou with his hair down, because that's what I said last time, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
So, Danny, for you, Marlon, you said one of the Daniels boys. Which one are you going with?
I'm going with Ben.
You're going with Ben.
Yes.
And
no, I remember who it is now, but I won't say that.
Has went with the cough, right?
Yeah, but I changed mine to Danny Kiriakou as well.
You changed yours to Danny now too. Kuv, you want to change?
Nah, stick with it.
You stick. Ben's wondering if it's him. Sim.
It's not. It does look a lot like.
Oh,
Sim.
this one's really close. Bryce is. Oh my God, he's touching on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me after I stamped my face.
I would.
Y'all know you would.
Not so sure about the one on the right, but you know.
He did make me look pretty, didn't he?
He did.
I really messed up my eye, didn't I? That was good times. Let's see what the comments are saying in here on that one. Everybody said Sim, Ben, and Bryce. We already hit these. Okay. Yeah, it is amazing what makeup can do, Carl. There's a good story about that one we'll be talking about next week. On to the next one here, boys. We've got two more left.
That's damn THFC.
Yeah. No. That's Danny Kiriakou.
Ooh, double downing on the dance. Has, what do you think?
It's a difficult one.
I'll give you a hint. Bob has a very, very good editing ability, so sometimes the skin tones get changed too.
And sometimes they don't.
Alex
Hey, bro, you're
THFC.
supposed to be part of the game, man.
I'm going to say it's Alex.
Oh, there's a big one.
I'm going to say this is jailbait.
That we know for sure.
Yeah, let's
go with jailbait.
Jailbait? Carl is saying
That's what Kuva's thinking.
Elias, you're saying it looks like Dyer. We said YouTubers, my man. YouTubers. That's Dan. Which one? Danny K or Danny THFC there. Down South Boy.
I'm wondering if the mouth and the chin was the sort of identifying area, because that's kind of familiar. But I'm trying to think who.
Stuart's really close here with Stell. Bryce is very, very, very close here because of the teeth. It's definitely box office. And I can definitely say it's none of them. It's the lovely Phil P. Woo!
Oh, man.
Bob, how the hell do you do these? I don't know. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Nick.
No, that's Nick. It's Nick or Stel. It's
Stel, yeah.
I'm going for Nick.
Come on, chat. You got about 10 seconds to get your answers in here before I do the reveal. What do you have to say? What are the folks saying in here? Oh, so close, Carl. So close. Not even close, Elias. Not even close.
Brad.
This is a lot closer. So,
Brad
final
Matthews.
answer, Kuva.
I'll make Brad.
Brad
Blue
Matthews?
sofa songs all over
Yeah,
it.
blue sofa. Oh, this one's really close, too. Oh, Marlon?
I'm still with Nick Collison.
Sticking with Nick?
Yeah.
Has?
Actually, I'm gonna change mine to Sav.
Oh, well, that was a good decision to change it because it's Kuva.
Damn it.
Oh shit!
You know, I was about to change it to me because I was just looking at the way it's edited around the mouth there. I was thinking, it's like the beard lines
That's his
going
beard.
down there. I think.
You know what? I
How?
figured you would have got this. This would have been the easy one to do because clearly there's no way I would have gone through it and not have my co-host, my lovely partner in crime here, obviously in the mix somewhere in there. So, gentlemen, that is it for this week. I thank you very much for spending this much time with us and joining us and making your debut over here on Kuv The Kang and the Three Spurs Boys channel. So why don't you let us know what's going on over at A View from the South Stand TV? What's going to be upcoming for you guys? Go on. It's your time, boys.
Wait a minute, Bobby, aren't we doing that wrap up we talked about? Where we just like, we're mid conversation, we just pull the plug.
Are we going to do that on the show?
Yeah, let's do it. No, I'm doing it now.
Yeah, we should.
No, no. Okay, let them go. Oh, they're listening. They're listening.
Oh,
I'll let my lovely co-host take the lead on this one.
They're trying to do it.
Got away with it. I'm telling you, can do it. Everybody comes on here as an idiot, mate. They're not going to suss it.
Oh, you too.
You know what?
But,
you know, like this imitation is a form of flattery, right? So,
yeah, it's true.
and I like them. They're so nice.
Yeah, they might come on again if we're nice.
That's true too. That's true. Or we can pay them.
Lads,
Hey, fellas.
how's it going?
oh, you too. Great. And you know what? You two are good together. Great comedy duo, I have to say.
Cheers, thanks. Thanks, Marlon.
We'll have to bring you on our one together. Not separately.
100%.
Oh wait, are we going to make us talk about football though?
Unfortunately, yes, because it's back. It's back.
You can handle that part of it, right?
We can derail it any time we want.
No, again.
Has I'll let you take these two.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesh. Hey, I've seen Has's photos. He can probably take both of us. Hercules.
And if anyone needs a reference to that, go watch our intro.
Oh, no way. Is there?
Yes. Come catch both of us on A View from the South Stand TV. We do match reactions after the game, usually hosted by me or Has or the other Has if us two are unavailable. And we have loads of guests that come on, usually about 4 at a time, usually lasts about an hour. We usually stream about 7:30, just say Has, depending on
about
time.
about a couple of hours after.
A couple of hours after. Hit that notification bell, you'll catch us. We have different guests on each week. We don't keep it the same. These two great guys above have both been on as well. There'll be rotation as well, so you ain't got the same host. So you got me doing it one week, Cass will do it the next. And yeah, we're looking to do more and more stuff as the season goes on. But at the moment, the season is back when Brentford is the next game. We haven't decided which one of us is doing it yet, but you'll see one of us.
Since it's a comeback, since we're starting up again, it might even be both of us taking on a few guests. So yeah, we might have a full house on the next one.
Very nice, very nice. And when is that show going to be, or you're still in the process of planning?
But
Nah,
straight after
straight after the Brentford game. Yeah, you'll always find us. Yeah.
Okay,
Always
so
find us
folks,
after a match day.
The link is down there in the description. Get over there, give the boys a like and a sub. Definitely make sure you hit that notification bell and do that same while you're here. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification so you know when me and Kuv are going to talk some crazy shit, or when these two kids are going to take over the show and do their own thing with Off the Pitch, which they'll have an episode of. They'll have an episode coming out this Wednesday as well. So come on down and check that out. And like I said, definitely get on over here, give these guys some love. And guys, thank you so much for joining us today, Kuva, our lovely co-host. As always, a pleasure, sir, to have you beside me. It's been a great night, a good show. I had fun. You had fun?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Bullshit World Cup's over. It's Spurs again now.
Yeah. I'm so, you know what really actually I know we shouldn't say this when we're still live, but what really made me happy was how Marlon went 3 for 3 in the first round of Spot the Bull and then 0 for 3 in the last round. Because like, fuck me, man. If this guy goes 9 for 9, that sucks.
You saw him at the start. He was cocky as
He was cocky. Yeah, that's why I was like, what has to do if you come back? Kick his ass a little bit.
Control yourself, man. I'll tell you what, it's embarrassing. That's what it is. It's embarrassing. We got to stop vetting guests properly.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Fellas, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really enjoyed your time. All of you in the chat, thank you for throwing in your 2 cents, and we really appreciate your time. And shit. Are we going to see them next week? Are we doing a Christmas show? It's Christmas Day next Sunday.
Yeah, let's do it anyway.
Fuck it. See you Christmas Day, folks. For those of you celebrating, have a Merry Christmas. I guess we'll say that shit to you in person because apparently we're going to do a show. Unless my wife has me doing something else.
Do a surprise one.
Yes.
There may be a show, there may not be. We're not going to advertise it. There may be something. Just stay glued to your YouTube screen all day.
That's what you have to hit that notification thing for. Now I know why people say hit the notification bell. I am getting there. Well, that's it for us, folks. See you when we see you. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And oh, yes, they're back. So we could say, Koofs, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
We sang in France, we sang in Spain, we sing in the sun and we sing in the rain. They tried to stop us, but they did. The thing we love most is being a kid. Being a kid, the thing we love most is being a kid.
Come on, you Spurs.
Make sure to like and subscribe.